Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica, and we got a really fun episode for you guys this Friday because the developers of Demons of Asteborg, Neofid, contacted me about a month ago and asked if I wanted to review the game and a press kit on the channel, and I said absolutely. But because this is something that's been sent in, I will let you guys know as usual. I have no pre-existing conditions to review this game or its packaging or contents. I can say absolutely whatever I want. And I will be giving away a Steam code in the video as well, so listen and I'll tell you how to enter that in a little bit. Before we get too far involved though, if you do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, that notification bell definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But it's always great to get a new physical retro game. I always buy pretty much everything, even if I'm not super interested in the genre, because I like to support these sort of things. But when it comes to Demons of Asteborg, this is actually the type of game that I would have bought had it come out in the 90s for the Sega Genesis. It's basically kind of an amalgamation of Ghouls and Ghosts with Metroidvania elements. Those are two of my favorite genres of all time, so definitely it's going to be something I really enjoy. But before we get too far involved into the actual gameplay, let's take a look at the press kit. Now I will say this is not what you get when you receive the game if you buy a physical copy. You will get the cartridge in this box, but it's always fun to see what they send out as little feelies in the box and other bits of content. And first off, this sword USB stick is absolutely awesome. It has the soundtrack on it, and it also has that Steam key that I'll be giving away in this video, and I'll tell you in a couple minutes how you enter that. Of course, if you buy this, you're just going to get the Sega Genesis cartridge in that clamshell, so just remember, if you do pick it up, that's what you're receiving. But I always like to see what developers put in these press kits just to kind of hype the game up, and I would say that these are absolutely awesome. But as far as what you would receive if you buy the cartridge version in the case, I do like the fact that they went with the Mega Drive artwork, but there is Sega Genesis artwork reversible as well, so if that's more your shelf aesthetic, you can 100% go with that. And I like that they even put the hang tag in there. If you do buy a physical copy of this, it's about $80 US. It's sold in euros, and that was the conversion at the recording of this, but I would say that's a really fair price because everything in here is really high quality. Taking a look at the cartridge itself, the plastic is slightly lighter than a standard Mega Drive or Sega Genesis cart, but you get this nice holographic sticker on the back. And the most important thing that not everyone does, but Neofid actually remembered to do because it is important, is the cartridge edge connector is beveled. When it's not beveled, it can put a little bit of stress on the pins in your Sega Genesis or whatever console you're using. I use the CDX for the review, but it's smart of them to have done that. And the instruction manual is really nice. High quality paper, awesome artwork, full color. For 80 bucks, I think you're getting a really good deal here, but I'm also the person that has multiple $1,000 Neo Geo cartridges in his collection, so your mileage may 100% vary. But this game is on Steam as well. They sell a cartridge only version, and they are going to be selling the ROM as well, and I know it works on Mister, so the developers at Neofid have thought how to get this in the most hands possible. But jumping right into the game, you get a lot of story going on here, more than I would expect for a Sega Genesis game, and I do appreciate that because the story actually gives you a lot of good flavor text as to exactly what's happening in the world of Asteborg, and they've done a lot of good world developing to give the game a really nice setting and place so that you actually feel invested in what's going on. And I really do appreciate the color scheme and colorways they've chosen for the game because they're not too vibrant, they're not too showy, but it looks absolutely incredible on screen. You get these purples and browns and greens, everything looks really nice without being over the top. So big credit to Neofid for choosing a color profile that isn't what everyone else is doing. It may not be your favorite, but I absolutely think it's spectacular and looks great on screen. You can definitely tell the artists for Neofid spent a lot of time making this look the way they did because it has a ton of different character in it. Even when you come up here and you see this scarecrow, there's going to be little intercuts in the game that give you a little bit more flavor text, and I do appreciate that. But as good as the game looks, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't play well, and I will say I am definitely into what Demons of Asteborg is doing. It has that Ghouls and Ghosts combat feel to it, but with a lot more fluid control. If you miss a jump, if you miss an attack, it's going to be on you and not because the game is fighting you, and that is a ton of fun. But like I said, genre-wise, it's a mix-up of something like Ghouls of Ghosts and a Metroidvania, and you'll see very shortly what I mean by the Metroidvania, and I like that mix of genres. I appreciate that they're not just trying to make another Metroidvania game, and they're not just trying to make another 16-bit hack-and-slash beat-em-up game, but they've actually married the two together. And I get a lot of Demon's Crest vibes from Demons of Asteborg, which is funny because they both have demons in the title, but I absolutely loved Demon's Crest, and this game plays really similar to it. Oh, and if you're wondering how how to enter the contest, leave a comment down below and tell me what your favorite Metroidvania game is, and I will announce the winner next Friday on my community page. But you'll see here, this is where the Metroidvania aspect comes in, and it's going to train you how to deal with it. Because if you go to the right of the screen, you can't progress anymore. But when we unlock this well and pop down here, we've got this little demon character just hanging out, and he needs something from you, a lost memory, to grant you another ability so you can access more areas of the world. That's that definite Metroidvania feel to it. But as good as this game looks, as great as it plays, it also has an awesome soundtrack. So go ahead and listen for like 35-45 seconds, and I'll come back and talk more about what I think of Demons of Asteborg. But enjoy. Yeah, the soundtrack's got that great fantasy vibe that pairs perfectly with the visuals and the overall aesthetic of the game, and you will see I took my first death there running away from that boulder Indiana Jones style. This game has a ton of platforming, but like I said earlier, if you make a mistake, that's on you because the controls are absolutely perfect as far as responsiveness is concerned. But I like how this game actually slows itself down sometimes. It's not just a pure combat game, it's not just a pure Metroidvania game, it also gives you some light puzzle elements and some navigation around the world, because you'll see with the wall jumping here, we really are traversing this world and it does feel nice and fluid, which I appreciate. And we have to actually solve another puzzle here to get that memory back. These little underground areas or these memory areas are really well designed because everything loops back on itself. You're never really going to get lost, but you're going to have to solve different puzzles and do different platforming to get this demon ghost his memory back, who will grant you a new ability. And those abilities are crucial for moving on into the game, because now that we have that astral projection little blade there, we're able to move back on to the surface level and cut that rope to get the bridge to come down. It's really smart design. It's teaching you how the game works while also giving you more gameplay elements, and like I said, I can't commend that enough. My time spent with this game has been awesome, and the boss battles are no different when it comes to puzzles. I am just showing you the beginning areas of the game because I don't want to spoil too much too soon, because I do think you guys should definitely check this game out. But the boss battles also have a lot of puzzle elements, because you'll see as I hit the executioner with my sword, I'm hitting for 2 and 4 points of damage. But if we come up here and knock this crate down, we're able to run to the other side of the screen and trigger this little switch that's going to drop a big blade down from the sky. Each boss battle seems to have more than one way to complete it, and you could totally just wail on the executioner with your sword and it would take a while, but that blade does 50 points of damage. We're able to quickly kill him, and I love that blood just spilling from his guts as he falls down. All of the boss battles are quite creative, and in between each level you get an item shop where you can upgrade your character, and I love the magnifying glass. It's definitely got some Symphony of the Night vibes where you can see the overall health of your enemy as you're wailing away on them. But moving into level 2, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm just showing you the beginning parts of the game because I don't want to spoil too much. The colors are different, but they still have that nice kind of subtle vibe to them, and I really appreciate that on the artwork, because so many of the new retro 16-bit games have these really harsh neon colors, which is definitely a look, but it feels like a in-your-face, look what we can do with the hardware sort of style, where I feel like Demons of Asteborg's really done a great job with the artist to develop its own visual language without being too over the top. But you'll see as we get further into the game, things are going to start getting harder. We're going to start having to worry about dodging attacks and rolling, and the combat is another awesome part of the game. And like I said earlier, the controls are spot on, because normally if the controls were poor, in this reel section here we need to run on the reels to be able to avoid falling to our death, I did it on my first try. It might take you 1 or 2 tries, but again, everything works perfectly control-wise, so if you do miss something, that's going to be 100% on you. But short of that, I mean, this is a really fun game, and I absolutely love playing games like this. But like I said, you can pick up a copy for the Sega Genesis for $80 US, and I think that's a decent deal. I played this via RGB on my Sega CDX, and it definitely looks amazing in RGB, but I did play it not for the video, but just for for fun on composite on a CRT, and it looks spectacular there too. It's available on Steam, it's available on Switch, and it's available as just a ROM file. So however you want to play this game, I definitely recommend you do so, especially if you like Ghouls and Ghosts, Metroidvania games, or Castlevania. You're going to find a lot to love with Demons of Asteborg. But I said I did just show you the beginning sort of areas of the game, but there's a ton of content in this. It took me about 5 hours to beat the entire thing, and for the price I feel like that is absolutely fair, and trust me, it gets a lot harder. But that's Demons of Asteborg. It's always great to get another retro game to play for the Sega Genesis, and this is definitely one that I enjoyed thoroughly. If I had to give it a review score, something I don't normally do on the channel, I would give it 4.5 out of 5 cat pens. But yeah, I will leave links in the description below so you can pick up the Genesis copy, the Switch digital version, or the Steam digital version. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Love chatting with you guys, and do me a huge favor, hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell definitely helps us out. But if you're looking for a new Sega Genesis game to play, you can do a lot worse than Demons of Asteborg. I certainly enjoy it, and I think you will too. See you guys next time. Bye bye.